Jan Paul grew up in a small Dutch village during a time when life was anything but easy. Born during World War II, his early years were surrounded by uncertainty, yet his family's values never wavered. On their dairy farm, his parents modeled resilience and compassion, even helping others in need, despite their own struggles. This environment left a lasting mark on him. Life on the farm was not just about survival, it was about responsibility, kindness, and consistency. As the youngest of 6 children, Jan learned early that everyone had a role to play. The rhythm of farm life, feeding animals, milking cows, and maintaining the land became his first education. These experiences built a foundation of discipline and empathy that would later define his career. What stood out most was not hardship, but the quiet strength of a family that kept giving, even when times were tough. Lessons learned among animals. Growing up surrounded by animals, Jan didn't just see them as livestock, he understood them as living beings with needs and responses. His father taught him a simple but powerful rule: treat animals well, and they will respond in kind. That idea stayed with him. The farm was filled with cows, horses, pigs, chickens, and more, each requiring care and attention. There were no shortcuts, no machines to make life easier. Every task required patience and effort. These daily interactions gave Jan a deep understanding of animal behavior that no textbook could fully teach. He learned how animals react to tone, touch, and trust. Over time, this hands-on knowledge became second nature. It wasn't glamorous work, but it was meaningful. The farm became his classroom, and every day brought a new lesson. Without realizing it, he was already preparing for a future where these instincts would become his greatest strength. The moment that changed everything. At the age of 12, Jan experienced a moment that would define his future. A local veterinarian arrived at the farm to handle a difficult situation involving animals in distress. Instead of watching from a distance, Jan was asked to help. That hands-on experience, messy, urgent, and real, left a deep impression. It wasn't just about helping animals, it was about solving problems under pressure. In that moment, something clicked. He realized that while he loved farming, becoming a veterinarian could allow him to stay connected to that world in a different way. It offered purpose and direction. In a country where land was limited and opportunities to own a farm were uncertain, this path made sense. More importantly, it felt right. That single experience transformed a curious farm boy into someone with a clear goal. From then on, becoming a veterinarian was no longer just an idea. It was a calling. A journey fueled by determination. Pursuing that dream required more than passion. It demanded hard work. Jan balanced school with farm responsibilities, often working long hours before and after classes. Even simple tasks like contacting a veterinarian required effort, sometimes involving long bicycle rides. These challenges built resilience and focus. Eventually, his dedication paid off when he earned admission to Utrecht University to study veterinary medicine. The program was rigorous, requiring discipline and persistence. Yet Jan pushed through, driven by the vision he had formed years earlier. His journey wasn't easy, but it was steady. He understood that success didn't come overnight. It came through consistent effort. By the time he graduated in 1970, he had not only earned a degree but also developed the mindset needed to succeed in a demanding profession. His story during these years is a reminder that determination often matters more than talent alone. Love that crossed oceans. Before finishing his studies, Jan's life took another important turn. As a teenager, he traveled to the United States as an exchange student where he met Diane. What started as a simple friendship gradually grew into something deeper. Even after returning to the Netherlands, they stayed connected through letters, building a relationship across distance. Their story wasn't rushed, it developed over time, strengthened by communication and commitment. Eventually, they decided to marry, despite the challenges of living in different countries. Diane moved to the Netherlands, adapting to a new culture while supporting Jan's education. She worked as a teacher, helping provide stability during those demanding years. Their partnership became a cornerstone of everything that followed. It wasn't just about love, it was about teamwork and shared goals. Together, they built a life that would later span continents, careers, and decades of dedication. Starting fresh in America. After graduation, Jan and Diane made a bold decision to move to the United States. They settled in rural Michigan, where opportunities for large animal veterinarians were strong. Life there was different but familiar in many ways, centered around farms and community. Jan began working in an existing veterinary practice, gaining experience in real-world conditions. The work was demanding, often involving long drives and unpredictable situations. He treated a wide range of animals, from cows to horses, learning to adapt quickly. Over time, he built trust within the community. Farmers valued his reliability and practical approach. He understood their challenges and respected their way of life. These early years in America were crucial. They allowed him to refine his skills while building a reputation. It wasn't about recognition, it was about showing up, doing the work, and earning respect one case at a time. Building something of their own. In 1981, Jan and Diane took a significant step by starting their own practice, Pole Veterinary Services. It began modestly, operating out of their garage. Resources were limited, but their determination was not. They relied on experience, trust, and a strong work ethic to grow the business. Diane played a key role, providing stability and support behind the scenes. Over time, the practice expanded, serving a wide range of clients and animals. It became more than just a clinic, it became a trusted part of the community. Their approach remained practical and accessible, focusing on real solutions rather than unnecessary complexity. This philosophy helped them build lasting relationships. The growth of the practice reflected years of consistent effort. It showed that success doesn't always come from big beginnings. It often grows from small, steady steps, taken with purpose. A family built with intention. Alongside their professional journey, Jan and Diane built a family in a thoughtful and meaningful way. They adopted their children at different stages, creating a home filled with care and commitment. Each child's story was unique, but all were welcomed with the same sense of belonging. Their family life reflected the same values that guided their work: patience, responsibility, and compassion. Raising children while running a growing practice was not easy, but they managed it together. Their home became a place of support and stability. This balance between family and career was not perfect, but it was genuine. It showed that success is not just measured in professional achievements, but also in the relationships we build. Their story as parents adds another layer to their journey, highlighting the importance of creating a strong foundation, both at work and at home. Facing personal challenges behind the scenes, life was not always easy. Like many families, they faced personal challenges that required strength and resilience. Difficult moments tested their ability to support one another. These experiences, though private, shaped their perspective on life and work. They reinforced the importance of staying grounded and focused on what truly matters. While the show highlighted professional success, it only captured part of the story. Real life included both joy and hardship. Through it all, the family remained connected, relying on the same values that had guided them from the beginning. These moments remind us that even those who appear strong and successful face struggles. What matters most is how they respond, by continuing forward with determination and care. The end of an era. In 2024, after many successful years, the show came to an end. The decision surprised many fans, especially since viewership remained strong. For audiences, it felt like saying goodbye to something familiar and meaningful. The final episodes reflected on the journey, celebrating the moments that define the series. While the show ended, its impact remained. It had introduced millions of people to rural veterinary life and the dedication it requires. For Jan and his family, it marked a transition rather than an ending. Life continued, just without the constant presence of cameras. The conclusion of the series highlighted how even long-running successes eventually evolve. It was not about loss, it was about change and moving forward. A legacy that continues today. Jan continues to stay connected to his work, though at a slower pace. His legacy is not just in television, but in the community he served for decades. The clinic, the relationships, and the lives he touched all remain part of his story. His journey from a small farm in the Netherlands to international recognition reflects dedication and purpose. It shows how consistent effort and clear values can build something lasting. Even without the show, the impact of his work continues. His story is ultimately about more than one career. It's about a lifetime of commitment to helping others, both human and animal.